Hi, thanks for tuning in. Elvira's here, helping you connect the dots between mind and body. I want to talk a little bit about love. Very broad subject, but I was just looking at some stats online. I just love to do research online, looking what what is trending, what's happening, what is my human connection with fellow humans. I just like to see how I can help them once I know what is perhaps ailing them, where they are blocked, stuck, or whatever else. So I just looked at some stats on Instagram, and I'm getting more and more excited about Instagram. It's a really great platform. So the number one hashtag, that means views, posts, etc. It's mostly posts. The number one is love. 1.8 billion hashtags on Instagram. Now, it doesn't really say what time span this is, but it's just so far ahead from anything else that I go like, wow, that is amazing. So let's talk about that. Where are we falling short on that? We all want to be loved. We all want to love somebody. But, somehow we have a challenge. Disclaimer, let me give you what I have learned over the past couple of decades from my mentors, personal experience as well, about love. Well, what I really have learned, that you cannot expect somebody to love you if you do not love yourself. End of story. End of story. As we women always say, a man is not a plan. That sounds harsh, but that's the way it is, ladies. A man is not a plan. A man cannot fill in for you what you cannot give to yourself. If you don't have an apple, you cannot give somebody a section of your apple. So if you don't love yourself and you expect somebody else to love you, mostly a man, because I'm talking about mature women who want to have a relationship that's not really working out so much as they would hope. What's my suggestion? From my experience, I had a very happy 25-year marriage. I was married for 25 years. My husband was 18 years older. And so I knew I was going to be a widow, and I had peace with that because the 25 years was just bliss. Not the first 5. That's just, getting into the groove of each other. But the 20 years were certainly bliss, bliss, bliss. I love that man so very much. So what is my experience? What I learned in those 20 years, I learned about myself. That's the most important thing. And that's what I would like to help you understand. That's something that helped me take the steps that I took to become a coach, a hypnotherapist. You are perfect, you're whole, you're complete, you're beautiful. You are created in God's image, likeness and image. However, nobody told you that. Nobody told you that. They only sort of scolded at you, criticized you, because they, and I'm talking about your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your environment, they wanted you to be safe. And they thought they had the key to the golden kingdom, or the golden key to the kingdom, because they had been on the planet longer than you, and you thought that same thing too. You got that's the vibration you picked up. They have been here longer, so they probably know it better, so I probably have to listen to them. No, not so much. Not so much. A lot of kids are in families where the relationship between father and mother is not really loving. It's maybe acceptable, but not a lot of love there. I speak from experience. So I wasn't taught about love at all. Nothing. School never teaches you. Are you kidding me? And in my days, we didn't have Instagram or Facebook or whatever else, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. It wasn't there. I was raised without a computer. So how do you find out? Well, you turn to religion. Oh, God help me. That doesn't work either. So you have the school of hard knocks. You know, that's what it is. But if you don't learn because you're curious to find out why, you're going to continue on that same route. Not happy. Here is the most important thing that I have learned. You've got to study yourself, and there are enough mentors and masters. There was masters in my time from the 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, who had written books, because that's how we used to learn, with books, you know. There was no audio stuff. And so you pick up those books and you start to read those books. Where do you start? Do you know what? That's not the easiest questions. You pick up a book. I can give you a couple of books, but if you want to learn to love yourself, if you want to learn not just yourself, but love your life, live the life you really love to live, I would think that there's probably two books I would start. I started with those two books. I started with Awaken the Giant Within from Tony Robbins. It's about this thick. Really great book. And the other one is a classic before that, and you must have heard of it. It's Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. Start with those ones. Like one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, and I studied with him for about, I think 5 years, 6 years, intensely studying. He has read Think and Grow Rich for 58 years, excuse me, daily. He would just open up the book, excuse me, he would open up the book and just read a passage and think about it. Either to learn something from that, or he might have something going on in his mind and he would say, like, let me see if I can find something in the book. And he would just, again, open up the book and there was usually an answer. There is, I think there's 12 chapters. I'm not certain. Go through them. Take your time. Go through them. Study them. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Tony Robbins' book is also pretty amazing. Tony Robbins is still alive. Napoleon Hill has left us, I think in 90, before 2000. But there is a lot of information on the internet about him. But as you're reading this, and this is the most important thing, as you're reading this, don't read through. Just read it and stop and reflect it to your life. There is so much priceless information in there that you really have to sit and think about it. And the understanding of you will come. It would be wonderful if you had a study buddy, if you can do it with somebody and just discuss it between the two of you. If you have a spouse, that would be wonderful. Or if you have a girlfriend, and because I'm mostly talking to women. I love you, men, but I prefer women. Because a woman understands a woman. To bounce back, you know, what you read and how you feel about that. What do you think about that? Because it all comes back to loving yourself, to getting to know yourself and loving yourself. That is the most important message I would like to give you. And I will come back to this many times from many different angles. But look at yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself how much you love yourself. If you cannot do that, do it. Every shining object, just look yourself in the eyes and go like, oh, God, I love you. Oh, you're gorgeous. You are magnificent. I really love you. I do it. I still do it. I still do it. After all these decades, probably I started 3 decades ago, 3 decades ago. I still do it. Not every day, but often, especially when I'm driving. I look in the mirror and go like, hi, beautiful lady. I love you. In the morning when I get out of the shower, you know, the shower always has a mirror in front of you. No matter if you are too skinny, if you're perfect, if you're overweight, if you're obese, I don't care. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Say so out loud. If there's somebody else in the bedroom or around, just whisper it, or just in your mind, send it out. That's your homework for right now. Look at yourself and write down on a piece of paper what you love about yourself. Why you love that about yourself. It's a lot of homework already, but you can do it. You're up for the task. You're watching my videos. Hey, do me a favor. Click the subscribe button if you come here for the first time, or if you haven't done that yet, click on the subscribe and click on the like button. Thank you so very much for that. Thanks for watching. Till next time, love yourself. You're going to enjoy it. Take care.